What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in. Like always, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Helps my channel grow. Thank you guys for that's been already tuned in and that's subscribed to my channel. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Can't do these things without you guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you go join the community. Go to my Patreon page at SymCast Podcast /patreon.com. Have a lot of wonderful things for you guys, some perks, a lot of things I've been putting together. I've been putting together my online shop for a lot of my custom figures and custom Funkos. Some top tier rewards for you guys. So go ahead and check it out. Also, follow me on my social at Instagram. I'm on TikTok, Twitter. Follow me there at SymCast Podcast. I post a lot of videos there, a lot of behind the scenes photos and things like that. So make sure you don't miss out. Also, hit the notification bell so when I do post videos or go live, you guys can be a part of the conversation. So for today's video, I will be talking about Captain Marvel, highlighting that character, the many faces of that character. As we know, the new movie coming out, the new Marvels, I believe it's coming out in November. So that's pretty much what the video is about, because in that movie, it's like a multiverse movie. I see a lot of these movies like Spider-Man, The Flash, even Sonic Prime, the TV show on Netflix. It's all about the multiverse, the different versions of these characters. So that's part of what this video is about. Like I said, you know, just to read even the synopsis of that movie, The Marvels. It says Carol Danvers gets her powers entangled with those of Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau, forcing them to work together to save the universe. So that was pretty much that. So if you watch the trailer, it's pretty much showing you the different versions of that character of Captain Marvel. So with this video, I'm gonna be highlighting those versions from that movie. Also talking about the OG, the original Captain Marvel character, and just giving you a brief little history and the origins behind everything. So let's get into it. Okay. Well, let's talk about Captain Marvel. Let's start off with the whole story of the character in the first place. Captain Marvel, it says, is the name of several superheroes appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. Most of these versions are in the shared universe of the Marvel universe. So we've seen these characters in some of these shows and movies and things like that. But like I said, the OG Captain Marvel, give a little history on him. Like I said, the first Captain Marvel is Marvel, created by Stan Lee and artist Gene Colan. Say he first appeared in Marvel Superheroes. It says he's an alien military officer of the Kree Imperial militia, sent to observe the planet Earth as developing technology, traveling to space. He eventually allies himself with Earth, and the Kree brands him a traitor. From then on, Marvel, he fights to protect the Earth from all threats. So then it goes on to say that the second Captain Marvel was Monica Rambeau, created by Roger Stern and John Romita Jr. The character first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man in '82, October. Just to talk about Monica for a minute, it says she's a police lieutenant from New Orleans, Louisiana. She possesses the power to transform herself into any form of energy. her powers were briefly altered so that she cannot transform to energy, but instead can generate like a personal force field around her. Uh, then it says later she returned her energy, or yeah, somebody returned her energy transformation abilities. Uh, she also is a member of the Avengers, and also at one point she served as the leader. Uh, then she eventually took on the name Captain Marvel from the original Captain Marvel's son, which Rambeau then took the name Photon, I believe. So then she ended up adopting the name Pulsar. But yeah, going back to like the story, to the Captain Marvel story, I know that, like I said in my notes, it says that DC Comics, they ended up suing Fawcett Comics for breach of copyright because they claimed at that time that Captain Marvel, their character that they created, was too close to Superman, which Superman was the first superhero. So a lot of people, a lot of artists was trying to recreate that for their comics and for their publication, but you can't have a character that's too similar to each other. So then, yeah, so they sued it, so they stopped using the name, but then they ended up getting trademark back in the '60s and got the Captain Marvel back. But I know that by them doing that, I know that Captain Marvel was Shazam at first, so then they changed that character and made him his name is just Shazam. And then I believe Captain Marvel ended up keeping that name. And then which brings us to Carol Danvers' version of Captain Marvel, the one from the media, from the movies, played by Brie Larson. That's the one that kind of the main one. So just to give a brief little story or history on her, they said she's actually the 7th Captain Marvel, created by Roy Thomas and Gene Colan. She first appeared in Marvel Superheroes number 13 in March 1968. Carol, it says she's the longtime superhero known as Miss Marvel. If you guys familiar with that character, Miss Marvel, for one, it's another name of another character I will be highlighting in a minute, Kamala Khan. But she also, like I said, was the first name of Captain Marvel for the female, which is Miss Marvel. If you guys familiar with the X-Men animated series, we see that that's where Rogue actually gets her powers from. She takes it from Miss Marvel. Because Rogue, her powers was basically she absorbs people's life force, or pretty much take on the power and the characteristics of that person. So by her working with Mystique and being manipulated by them, she ended up going after Miss Marvel, was holding on to it too long. She pretty much took her powers and put her in a coma, where she actually took on her flight, had her strength and everything like that. So she pretty much was her. And then also in that storyline too, they showed that the character Miss Marvel was actually kind of haunting Rogue, because like she was inside her mind still trying to get back to her own self, to her, back to her body. She feel like Rogue stole her life, stole her identity and everything. So that was a good, interesting storyline. So if you guys is not familiar with that, go ahead and watch the X-Men series. It's on Disney Plus streaming now. I know they finna make a reboot of that show as well. So to stay locked in for that, I will be doing reviews on that as well. But yeah, so that was that for Miss Marvel. But yeah, so as far as her, she assumed the mantle of Captain Marvel. They said is in an ongoing series written by Kelly Sue, the comic with art by Dexter Soy. And it says Danvers, she dons the jumpsuit and explores her own past. said the series basically contemplate with what Captain Marvel's legend means to Danvers and how she will wield it and how the rest of the Marvel universe reacts to it. So, so yeah. So I know they already had the first movie, then now the second movie coming out with the Marvels. And like I said, highlighting the characters with Monica Rambeau, and then also with Kamala Khan, the Miss Marvel. Now she took over the mantle. Um, so, but just brief history on her. For one, she's believe she's like the first Indian Marvel character or Miss Marvel to take on that persona. They created a TV series about it. It's streaming now. Didn't get a chance to really watch it. I saw some of the some scenes and things like that, but I have to go back and kind of watch it to be more familiar with it. But I'm familiar with the character. She has a lot of comics out, a lot of different media that you can kind of check out if you're not familiar with the character. But like I said, it says in the show or the film, she's a 16-year-old fangirl of the Avengers who struggles to fit in until she gains her own powers. And I know that part of her powers is that she gets to stretch her arms or stretch her body or something like that. So just to give a brief little story about her or background, she made her first appearance in Captain Marvel number 14 in August 2013 before starring in her solo series, Miss Marvel. Also, the Magnificent Miss Marvel and 3 Miss Marvel limited series comics. So you guys can check it out. It's available. But yeah, I'm trying to see. I know her powers. It says she developed her superpowers after Marvel's Infinity storyline, where the Terrigen Mists are released. It says her dormant and human abilities were activated by the mist on a rare night where she basically decides to sneak out, and then and she ended up getting those powers. They said she originally was going to be a mutant, but they decided to it's like she's a polymorph because she can kind of shape shift and almost like Mr. Plastic with her body. But you know, that's one thing about the Marvel universe. You know, I'm more of a fan of DC and their comics, but I'm also a fan of Marvel because I love the inclusion and the diversity that they have in their characters. I like that as well. Like with Stan Lee, he created with the X-Men characters. They pretty much delve into racism and not being included in things. So I love the fact that they always show different inclusions in their media. So like with the character of Monica Rambeau or even with Kamala Khan, where they are different nationalities, they're not necessarily the typical hero that we see, but they are different race and different nationalities, and they are strong as the other counterparts. So I appreciate and I'm glad that they are going to highlight them in the next film that they making in November. So very excited about that. Just can't wait to see. But yeah. So like I said, that's pretty much it with those characters. With just some of the history of them. Like I said, you have to pick up a comic or kind of read up more about them to kind of know, more info about them. But I advise you just to go ahead and stream the Miss Marvel series. Go ahead and watch the Captain Marvel movie, and then watch the Marvels movie that's coming out in November, and then you pretty much get it. So I thank you guys for tuning in and for watching my video. I appreciate the love and support. I thank you guys. Stay on the lookout for my review for the Marvels movie. I'll be reading the synopsis, breaking down the trailer, and then kind of discussing it. So then when the movie come out and I end up watching it, I'm gonna review that as well. Just stay locked into my channel. So until next time, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Peace.